Let's kick this off with something maybe a bit surprising for small business founders listening in. You can get AI to write perfectly grammatical, really professional emails, reports, whatever you need. But here's the twist. Those flawless messages. They often just land wrong. People get confused, maybe apathetic, or sometimes honestly deeply suspicious.
It seems backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the issue is AI tries so hard to be correct and neutral and polite that it just ends up sounding, well, robotic.
Yeah.
And readers now, they're really, really tuned in to spotting that kind of AI slop. If it's too polished in that specific AI way, it just screams inauthentic.
Exactly. And for a small business, that authenticity, that connection, it's everything, isn't it? Your reputation, how you connect with customers, closing a deal, it all hinges on sounding like a real person. If someone even suspects a machine wrote it, that link is just weakened right from the start. Welcome to the Deep Dive, powered by Ravensight AI. This is where we explore how individuals and small businesses can leverage the power of AI at work. And today, we're diving into a huge, kind of silent time waster for founders, writing effectively.
Oh, it's a massive bottleneck. We're seeing data suggesting the average worker, spends up to 20 hours a week just on writing tasks. 20 hours.
Wow.
So it's really no wonder that, 20, maybe 30% of workers in the U.S. are already using tools like ChatGPT or Gemini to get some help.
Yeah, you want that speed? I get it. But here's the catch, the sort of hidden stress. If you're only getting speed and you're losing that human touch, that authenticity, you're actually missing the point. This deep dive is all about making sure you don't fall behind, because competitors will figure out how to get both speed and that genuine human warmth.
And that's where our source material from Ravensight AI comes in. It gives really detailed strategies, specific prompts you can use to blend your human judgment with AI's power. The mission here is basically to give you the tools to override those defaults. Make sure your writing sounds like you, not some generic robot.
Okay, let's unpack that then.
Yeah.
If we want to solve it, we need to understand what exactly makes AI writing feel so audited off. What are those little signals that make readers skeptical?
Yeah, we can break it down. There are maybe three main things, linguistically and psychologically speaking. First up is the AI's bias towards really academic or super formal language.
Okay.
See, these LLMs, they learn from just vast amounts of text, right? Academic papers, formal reports, news. So they kind of naturally lean away from just, normal conversation.
So instead of a quick note, you get something that sounds like it's introducing a PhD thesis.
Pretty much, yeah. They tend to avoid contractions, it is, instead of it's. And they love using words that sound smart but just feel odd in everyday business talk.
Like what kind of words?
Oh, things like delve, align, underscore, maybe noteworthy. When those pop up in just a regular email, it feels weird. It creates distance. It tells the reader, hey, this wasn't dashed off by a person you know. It was carefully built by someone or something trying to sound impressive. And that distance, that's where the mistrust starts.
I've noticed the structure, too. It often feels very template-y, very neat.
It does, yeah. AI loves a formula. It leans hard on cliches, maybe generic apologies, that sort of over-the-top politeness. And then you get those padded transitions.
Oh, yeah. Conversely, and my personal favorite, in addition, it should be noted that
Exactly.
it feels like it's just trying to fill space, not actually communicate something clearly, like it's explaining the obvious.
And here's a really interesting little detail, a punctuation thing that Ravensight AI flags. The M dash.
You mean the long dash that sometimes connects sentences?
That's the one.
Yeah.
AI uses it a lot. Often where a human might just use a comma or maybe parentheses. It's just structurally cleaner for the algorithm, probably. It seems small, but all these little things add up subconsciously. They contribute to that feeling that the text is just structurally off, not quite human.
Okay, so we've got the formal language, the templates, even the M dashes flagging it as potentially AI. But does that mean AI is just fundamentally cold, incapable of genuine warmth?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If these models are just predicting the next word based on patterns, can they actually do empathy? They don't have real human context or logic or emotions in the way we do. So yeah, left alone, they default to that kind of safe, neutral corporate politeness.
The evidence suggests they can be pushed beyond that baseline, right? I'm thinking about that Dartmouth study with the AI chatbot, Verabot.
Yes, that's such a powerful example. It really is. It was an 8-week trial, 106 adults, and the results were pretty dramatic. People reported, on average, a 51% drop in depression symptoms.
51%, wow.
And a 19% decrease in body image concerns. But here's the really crucial part for our conversation. Users reported feeling a sense of trust, a real connection that they said was comparable to working with a human
It's
therapist.
genuinely incredible. It really proves AI can be trained for warmth, for connection, if you set it up right. I mean, sometimes I feel like my AI gives better emotional regulation tips than I manage myself on a busy day.
Huh. Well, maybe. But the point is, the potential is there. It's kind of like teaching a super smart but maybe socially awkward apprentice how to really connect with a customer. The raw intelligence is there, you just need to give it the right social and stylistic guidance.
Okay, so that brings us nicely to the strategies. How do we actually do that? How do we guide it?
Strategy one, and this is probably the most powerful thing a small business owner can do,
Yeah.
train your LLM with your examples.
Right. The source material had that great analogy like training Toothless, the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
You're taming the beast, basically.
Exactly. You're not just taking the default settings, you're personalizing it. Now, this takes a bit of upfront effort, and that's where some founders might hesitate. But think of it as a one-time investment with huge leverage. You feed the AI examples of your own writing that worked well, emails you were proud of, social posts that got engagement, report sections that really sounded like you.
Okay, upload my greatest hits. But isn't that initial training gonna take ages? How do I know it's worth the time?
Because you're not just teaching it words, you're teaching it your feel. The prompt you'd use is something like this, and this is based on the Ravensight AI approach. Carefully analyze these examples to identify consistent traits like sentence length, structure, phrasing, pacing, formality, humor, and emotional tone. Once the AI has that unique blueprint of your voice, every piece it generates later needs way less tweaking from you. You save tons of time down the line.
Ah, okay. So it's about capturing the rhythm, the vibe, not just the vocabulary.
Precisely. Get the feel right.
Got it. That's strategy one. Train the model on your style. What's strategy two? For when I'm, in a rush and need something quicker.
Right, that's about controlling the output on the fly, using really specific tactical instructions in your prompt. You don't just say, write an email. You tell it exactly how it should sound.
Give me an example.
Okay, instead of just draft an announcement, you'd prompt it with something like, draft an email using a friendly conversational tone. Use we and you. Keep the sentences pretty short. Use contractions, and please avoid internal jargon.
See.
You're forcing it away from that stiff academic default right from the start.
And I guess you also need to explicitly tell it what not to do. Ban those robotic habits we talked about.
Absolutely. And setting up a persistent instruction is key here. This is a really practical tip from the Ravensight AI research. Save an instruction, maybe in the custom instructions if your tool allows it, or just at the start of your chat thread that says loud and clear. Never use M dashes.
Haha, okay. Be firm.
Be firm and list words to avoid. Tell it. Don't use words like utilize, leverage, or cliches like cutting edge or synergy. Just listing maybe 5 or 10 of those corporate buzzwords you hate can instantly make the output cleaner.
That makes sense. Which brings up this idea of the human AI mesh. How much should be me, the founder, and how much should be the AI doing the work?
It's got to be a blend, but one that really saves the founder's time. Think of it like this. AI is fantastic for maybe the first 80%. Getting the structure right, the basic grammar, the logical flow. It does that heavy lifting.
Okay.
But the human journal, you absolutely must handle that crucial final 20%. That's the fine-tuning, the tone matching, making sure it truly sounds like you.
So AI builds the house, I decorate the living room.
That's a good way to put it. And here's a smart workflow tip. Let's say you edit a paragraph the AI wrote. You tweak it, add a personal touch, maybe a quick joke. Don't just stop there. Feed the whole document, including your edit, back to the AI.
Oh, why?
And you ask it, okay, now revise the rest of this document to match the tone and style of the section I just edited. You use the AI's strength consistency to make the whole thing flow naturally from your human input.
Ah, clever. So you leverage the AI to spread your edits consistently. I like that.
And that leads us to sort of a final universal checklist. Some humanizer guidelines that anyone listening can apply right now to basically any business writing they do.
Okay, hit me with the essentials. What's the absolute must-do?
For me, it always comes back to simplification and natural rhythm. The goal is always sound natural, sound trustworthy, never robotic. To get there, you've got to use contractions. Don't. Simple as that.
Seems basic, but AI avoids them.
It does. And vary your sentence length and rhythm. Robot text is often perfectly even. Human speech, it's messy. Short sentences, longer ones, That variety makes it feel alive.
And definitely stop the AI from over-explaining things. That's a huge pet peeve of mine.
So totally. If you're talking to a colleague, a customer, they usually get it. You don't need to restate the obvious 3 times. It's such a dead giveaway for AI-generated corporate speak.
Right. It drives me nuts.
So here's the final check. The absolute last thing you do before hitting send or publish. Ask yourself this question, maybe even read it out loud. Would this sound believable if a real person read it? If the answer is no, or even maybe, simplify it. Keep tweaking until it does, that audible test. That's your gold standard.
Okay, let's bring this all together then. If you remember just one thing from this deep dive, what should it be? I think it's this. Those AI writing problems, they aren't prominent flaws, they're just the default settings. Once you understand why AI sounds robotic, the formal words, the weird structure, the excessive politeness, you get the power to change it. You can override those defaults with smart training, with specific prompts, and that means you can get both speed and genuine authenticity in your communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a little action cue for everyone listening. Try this today. Go look at your AI tools output. Take the last email or post it drafted for you. First, apply that rule. Never use em dashes. Then add a simple instruction. Use contractions and conversational language. Just do those 2 things and see how much more real, how much more believable the output feels almost instantly.
That's a great concrete takeaway. Thank you for walking us through all that. This deep dive drew heavily on the practical research and strategies developed by Ravensight AI.
That's right. And you can find much more detail, including guides on AI workflow automation for small businesses and those specific voice training prompts we mentioned over at ravensightai.com.
Definitely worth checking out. Join us next time for more useful AI tips and tricks designed specifically for you, the busy small business owner. Until then, keep digging, keep learning, and keep connecting.